Hey YouTube, hope you've been well. So, today, we have a bit of a different type of video. As you may or may not have noticed, this is not a ball python. This is actually an Angolan python. A very, very beautiful species, closely related to the ball python, from the country of Angola. But this is the father to the eggs that you just saw hatching. This is a LASIK line Angolan python, male. This was his first year breeding. It was the female's first year breeding as well, and I'll show you her in a second, but they're both wonderful animals. Unfortunately, this clutch was kinda bittersweet. This was my first Angolan python clutch and my first experience hatching these guys out after raising them for a few years. But there were initially 6 eggs that the female laid. 4 of them were total rollouts, and she was coiled around only 2 of them. And unfortunately, those 4 eggs did pass away on us, which is sad, but it's part of breeding. You can always try again next year. It was both these guys' first year's breeding, so hopefully next year, with a little more experience, we have some better luck and hatch out some more. But I am grateful that we were able to actually hatch out 2 babies. We had a 1.1 pair of beautiful 2024 Angolan pythons. That's very exciting. It's my first time hatching out this species, but here is the male, a LASIK line Angolan python, and we will show you the female right now. Alright, here is the big, beautiful mama from this clutch, who unfortunately, as you can see, is very deep in shed for this video, so she is not looking her best, but I think she's still pretty. But this is a hamper line Angolan python female. For her only being 4 years old for her first clutch, I would consider that being pretty young, considering I've heard that these guys can take like 6-7 years to reach maturity a lot of times before they're able to produce viable eggs. But these, I have her sister, and her brother, and they've always been phenomenal eaters for me. And then for my LASIK line, I have a pair of those as well. So, since the genetic diversity with Angolan pythons is kind of limited, because these guys aren't really imported from different bloodlines in the wild anymore. So basically what we have in captive bred populations is pretty much all we have to work with. Unless someone else wants to start suddenly importing Angolan pythons, but it's important to diversify as much as possible. That's why I was doing research when I was initially buying these guys, to make sure that these lines were kind of different. So I have LASIK line animals and hamper line animals to breed. And she's getting a little fussy, so we'll put her back. But just wanted to show her off, and now we will look at the beautiful babies that she gave us this season. Alright. Okay, so here is our beautiful pair of 1.1 Angolan pythons. These guys are very, very cool. I probably shouldn't have taken them out at the same time because they're also quite wiggly. So these guys are quite a bit different from plain old ball pythons. I do not keep them on ReptiChip. This is for video purposes only. I keep them on paper towels. I think they do much better in an environment that's as less dusty as possible. So paper towels are wonderful for that, and also they, I do not think, thrive very well in high humidity environments like ball pythons do. Ball pythons you can keep at 70% humidity, no problem, and they'll be chilling just fine. But these guys, I think, they definitely like a drier environment, and they do a lot better in an environment that is probably like a few degrees warmer as well. Here, try to spot a word in this pattern. But these guys are very pretty. They have like a beaded texture on their scales. which gives them a very, very unique feel, especially as they get bigger and their scales get larger as well. It's a quite a cool look. You couldn't quite see it on the big female we just showed, but the male, you could probably tell how beaded his scales were. But these guys are adorable. All their parents were pretty nippy when I got them as babies, but these guys seem relatively chill so far. I hope he's in focus here. Angolans are much more active and curious than ball pythons. They'll usually try to shoot out at you right when you open their tub, whether you have food or they just want to explore a little bit. But they get a bit bigger than ball pythons. They are a more slender species. You can see their tail is quite a bit longer than normal ball pythons, so they are a little better at climbing. But they are just a wonderful, wonderful species. These guys just shut out, and I'll probably try to give them their first meal this week. I'm not even sure if this is the male or the female. Oh, this is the male. So, this is the male Angolan baby. He will be for sale. I don't need another male. I already have my individual males from each line. Angolan pythons don't really have any morphs. Some are more stripy than others, and some have a more aberrant pattern than others. Other than that, obviously, some are lighter, some are darker. I would consider mine on the darker side, especially this male. But honestly, any Angolan is a pretty Angolan. It's kind of just about what you like and what's actually available, because they are kind of a rare species at the moment. But yeah, this boy is adorable. I absolutely love him. He will be for sale once he is established and feeding on his own. I don't really expect any problems, because every Angolan I've raised up so far is a feeding machine. So I don't really expect anything different from the babies, but here he is. Male 2024 Angolan python baby. Woohoo! Absolutely beautiful species of python. I love these guys. They have so much personality. I can't believe he hasn't tried to bite me yet. But, hey. Awesome. Can't focus his head? I don't care. Let's go look at his sister. Alright. And here is the only other surviving egg of the clutch. This is the 0.1 24 Angolan. She is absolutely beautiful, just like her brother, just like her parents. And if I were to guess right now, I would say she is going to be a holdback over here, because why not? Like I said, this species does take a bit longer to mature than a ball python, even though ball pythons can take quite a long time to mature as well, especially if you don't have one that's a great feeder. But these guys can take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to reach like a breedable adulthood size. So I might as well hang on to her. I know this video is not going to be the most in focus thing I've ever put out. These guys are just too wiggly. They got too much motion for me, man. But we will raise her up over here. She is perfect in every way. Again, I absolutely love these guys. I'm so glad that 4 or 5 years ago I said, hey, I should probably buy a few of these, because they are very, very cool, and I would love to hatch them out one day. Unfortunately, this season, you know, we lost a few eggs with the Angolans. It was her first season. She rolled out all the eggs. I don't really know what happened, but we will try again next year. And hopefully we have at least 1 or 2 more Angolan pythons that will be breedable size by then. So hopefully we can have more eggs to hatch out and babies to offer people eventually, but that is it for now, probably. Thank you, YouTube, for checking these guys out, and hopefully you enjoyed them as much as I do. But here we go. Hold back female, probably. Angolan python. Alright. Thanks, YouTube. Bye-bye. Subscribe. Bye-bye.